And we were talking about the fact that fan media gets access to the likes of Russell Martin's news conference at Rangers, the likes of Brendan Rodgers' news conference at Celtic. Is it right that they get access like that?
Celtic Football Club, one of the most supported clubs in world football. A club built on history, pride and identity stretching back over a century. A club born from community and sustained by it. Yet in recent times, a new conflict has emerged at the heart of that identity. Not on the pitch, but in the space where stories are told. The battle between fan media and mainstream media. For years now, fan media has grown far beyond simple match reactions and emotional post-game rants. Independent YouTube channels, podcasts, blogs and social platforms have become powerful voices within the Celtic support. They do not just report results. They analyse tactics in detail, they break down recruitment strategy, they scrutinise boardroom decisions. Most importantly, they reflect the mood of ordinary supporters. Mainstream media, on the other hand, has traditionally held the keys to access, press conferences, exclusive interviews, priority questions. For decades, they shaped the narrative around Celtic. They decided which stories led the back pages and which stories quietly disappeared. But the world has changed. Supporters no longer wait for the morning paper. They no longer rely solely on broadcasters to interpret events for them. In the digital age, fans create their own platforms. They upload instantly. They analyse in real time. They challenge narratives within minutes of them forming. And that shift in power has not gone unnoticed. Recently, fan media outlets covering Celtic have found themselves restricted and in some cases banned from attending press conferences and official events. Access that was once granted has been withdrawn or placed under review. Meanwhile, traditional outlets continue to receive entry and opportunities to question managers and players. For many supporters, this feels like more than administrative reshuffling. It feels like control, because fan media does not simply repeat talking points. It often challenges them. When ticket prices rise, fan media talks about affordability and working class roots. When transfer windows close with frustration, fan media asks whether ambition matches rhetoric. When protests emerge, fan media gives those protesters a voice instead of dismissing them as background noise. Mainstream coverage can at times reduce Celtic to headlines. Controversy attracts clicks. Simplified narratives travel faster than detailed context. But supporters want depth. They want nuance. They want honesty. That is where fan media has stepped in. The recent restrictions have only strengthened the belief among many fans that independent voices matter more than ever. Because if the only questions being asked are safe ones, then the important conversations never happen. This is not about hostility. It is about representation. Celtic is a club built by its community. Its identity is inseparable from its supporters. And in the modern era, those supporters have found their own microphones, their own cameras, and their own audiences. We are now living in a new age of media. The old distinction between mainstream media and fan media is already starting to blur. Traditional journalists now report online. Fan channels break news before newspapers do. Podcasts reach audiences larger than some radio stations. Articles are shared globally within seconds. The internet has flattened the hierarchy. Eventually, the labels may disappear altogether. There may not be mainstream media and fan media. There may simply be media, digital, immediate, interactive media, voices competing in the same online space. Some backed by institutions, others backed by community support, but all operating under the same technological landscape. The gatekeeping era is fading. In this new environment, credibility is earned, not assigned. It comes from consistency, transparency, and connection with an audience. And that is why fan media around Celtic has grown so rapidly. It speaks the language of the terraces. It reflects lived experience. It does not observe from a distance. It participates. Fan media is not perfect. It can be emotional. It can be passionate. But that passion exists because people care deeply about the club, because they invest time, money, and energy into following Celtic home and away. When fan media is excluded, a vital link between club and community weakens. Dialogue becomes one-sided. The narrative becomes filtered. And in a digital world where supporters can instantly compare perspectives, that filtering becomes obvious. The real question is simple. Who gets to tell the story of Celtic Football Club, the supporters who live it every week, or institutions that observe it from a distance? In modern football, media is power, and the rise of fan media represents a redistribution of that power back toward the supporters. Whether access is restored or restrictions continue, one thing is certain: independent voices are not going away. The Celtic support is global, connected and vocal. The online world has ensured that no single outlet controls the narrative anymore. This is more than a disagreement about press passes. It is a reflection of football's evolution in the digital era, a new age where information moves faster, audiences are smarter, and supporters demand transparency. And in that new age, the voice of the fans will always find a platform. Let the fans speak,